Tomorrow is going to be bringing with it a lot of new PlayStation 4 games. With these summer weeks, I always like to keep my expectations a little bit tempered because generally speaking, we don't get a lot of heavy hitters. However, come tomorrow, there are some very compelling games being released and I want to cover them all. We've got 6 awesome games to go over. But before I get into these 6 games, I also do want to note that for those of you guys that want to pick up a physical copy of Judgment, that is also releasing tomorrow, which is pretty exciting considering that Judgment is a game done by the Yakuza team. And it looks to raise the bar for their games. There's a lot of interesting elements with the game visually. It's a lot better than the previous Yakuza titles, and it really looks like a PlayStation 4 game. With Yakuza 6, you can kind of see it's in the middle ground of a PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 title, but with Judgment, it definitely looks like a PS4 game. It's got English voiceover, so that's great. And again, considering that it is coming from the Yakuza team, you can expect all of the compelling content that they're known for. A great narrative, solid gameplay, a lot of intrigue in the storytelling. The presentation is top-notch as well, so I did want to make note of that, as I know a lot of you guys are excited for Judgment, but maybe you didn't want a digital copy when that dropped on June 21st, but come tomorrow, you can get a physical copy. So with that out of the way, let's cover the 6 new games being released, and kicking things off, I do want to go over the biggest game dropping tomorrow, and that is The Sinking City. This is coming from Frogwares and Big Ben Interactive, and it's yet another Lovecraftian horror game, and it looks fantastic. The game is set in the 1920s on the east coast of the United States. The half-submerged city of Oakmont is gripped by supernatural forces. You're a private investigator in the game, uncovering the truth of what has possessed the city and corrupted the minds of its inhabitants and yours. That's one of the most compelling things about this game. You play as this private investigator, so you're not gonna be this character that is super overpowered, and in fact, as this private investigator, you're gonna have to deal with your own psychological issues, and that adds another layer to the storytelling of the game, which I am very intrigued by. The game touts an impressive atmosphere and story inspired by the universe of H.P. Lovecraft, a vast open world that can be explored on foot, by boat, or in a diving suit. High replay value thanks to an open investigation system. Each case can be solved in a number of different ways with different possible endings depending on your actions. So this is a game that's going to have a sizable amount of replayability. The game is also going to have an arsenal of weapons from the 1920s with which to take on the nightmarish creatures. And throughout the game, one of the key points is that you'll have to manage your mental health to untangle the truth behind the madness. And I think that's the key imperative word about this game is madness. There's a lot of wrong in the world of Sinking City, but that's why I'm so intrigued and captivated by this game. I don't know how exactly it's going to turn out from a gameplay standpoint, but I think from a presentation standpoint, from building a quality atmosphere and telling a great story, I think all of those elements are going to be really, really well done, and I think this is a game that could end up surprising a lot of people and really be one of the standout games of the summer. If you're a fan of games that have a bigger emphasis on building a great atmosphere, telling a compelling story, I think that's exactly what you're going to find out of The Sinking City, and again, it drops tomorrow, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Alright, next up we have a historical strategy game making the transition from PC over to the PlayStation 4, and that is We the Revolution. This game released a few months ago on PC for $19.99 and was received rather well. It's got a 77 on Metacritic, which is pretty good, and the game has you play as a judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal. Preside over complicated cases of ordinary citizens, dangerous criminals, and enemies of the revolution in revolutionary Paris. Throughout the game, you'll have to make judgments, plot political intrigue, and try not to lose your own head throughout the game. It's a very unique game, and it has a singular art style set in the blood-soaked and paranoid world of the French Revolution, where often you could not tell a friend from an enemy, and that's one of the big elements of this game. As a judge, you're gonna have to see through deception, and deception is gonna be a big part of the game. You'll have to trudge through this setting, passing sentences, playing a dangerous political game, and doing everything in your power to not be guillotined as an enemy of the revolution. At the end of the day, you will also confront your decisions with your family, and very often they will see it differently than how you see it, but it is up to you to make all of these decisions. The game is going to put you in a lot of morally ambiguous situations in which there are no obvious solutions, no right or wrong answer, and the decisions you make are never unambiguous. The power over human life and death is a heavy burden, responsibility, and strength that can affect the fate of the revolution. Keep that in mind each time when passing sentence in the courtroom while assigning tasks to your agents, giving speeches, and weaving political intrigue behind the scenes. Address chiefly to players who enjoy to settle moral dilemmas, make complex personal choices, and immerse themselves in the world of sophisticated political intrigue. Throughout the game, you'll shape history and decide who will live and who will die. Experience the oppressive atmosphere of the French Revolution as you know it from classic novels of Alexander Dumas and Joseph Conrad. Preside dozens of unique and morally ambiguous court cases, confront your judgments with your family. Your loved ones may often disagree with your decisions. Run your own courtroom, question witnesses, analyze clues and evidence, rate reports, and pass sentences how you see fit. And throughout the duration of the game, you're gonna make friends and enemies of different rival factions vying for power, make them your associates, or make them disappear, and engage in a mix of genres blending case building with intrigue crafting and turn-based tactics. And from a presentation standpoint, again, visually, it's got a very unique art style. It wasn't received to be a perfect game on PC, but nonetheless, it is a very interesting title and one that I think you guys should definitely have on your radar. We the Revolution drops tomorrow at the price of $19.99. Next up, I just mentioned price, and I think that's kind of an issue with our next game, and that is Samurai Shodown. It's dropping tomorrow, and while I'm very interested in this game, and I'm sure we're gonna get a great fighting game, unfortunately, it is gonna be priced at a full $59.99, which I think is gonna be off-putting to a lot of people. Now, it should be noted that if you buy the game right away, you do also get the season pass for the game, so that is something to know. The description reads, officially a prequel to the original 1993 Samurai Shodown, the latest title story mode allows players to choose any character and experience their journey from franchise favorites like Hoamaru and Charlotte to a bunch of newcomers as well. Several other modes will be present as well, including a training mode, online play, and an all-new dojo mode. As fighters continue to play and level up their skills, the game is watching, learning, calculating, and mapping its users' playstyle in offline battle modes in order to create an online ghost that replicates that style in dojo mode. Players can take on their own AI-delivered avatar for better insight into their own weakness, or download the ghost of a favorite player from the cloud for a fresh challenge. These intelligent AI ghosts promise to change the way fighting game aficionados train and compete forever. It was also noted by the dojo mode that that's been a franchise aspiration from the team for some time now, and an evolution to the fighting game genre that they're very proud of. Again, I am a little off-put by the $59.99 price point, but for fighting game fans, I'm sure it's gonna be a good time, and it is dropping tomorrow. Next up, here's a pretty quirky little game, Arnie Curtain from Matryoshka with Love. Arnie Curtain is a satirical point-and-click inspired by the classic adventure games. It smuggles you out of your comfort zone and throws you into the middle of a Cold War spy intrigue where there's an even bigger game being played. It's a satirical point-and-click game that's very charming, very funny as well, and this game was released on PC just about a month ago, and not a lot of people played it, but those that did think pretty highly of it, with the 37 user reviews pegging it at 97% positive. That is a pretty good sign. The game touts an original setting, fictional Cold War era alternate reality unbound by historical accuracy and the communistic Matryoshka full of people who work all the possible angles to navigate this illogical, odd country. Inspired by classic adventure games, but better. No dream logic, no pixel hunting, no nonsense, pure point-and-click fun. It's a spy intrigue, sleeper spies, stolen secrets, and world domination plots wrapped up in layers of humor, and quirky characters are gonna be all around the game. Meet the mysterious leader ruling the country with an iron fist, the clueless and gullible Evan, the brave and witty Agent Anna, and the notorious Minister of Propaganda. You've got 21 hand-painted locations. You can play the game exactly how you want it. 1951 cleverly sneaked in Easter eggs, and full voiceover in English and subtitles in Polish and German. Again, a charming, quirky little game. Metacritic saw the game pretty positively as well. It scored an 84, was priced at $19.99, maybe one that you'll want to add to your wish list for now and pick up down the line during a sale, but I feel like this is a game that's really going to get lost in the shuffle, so I wanted to bring some attention to that. Next up, for you JRPG fans out there, Super Neptunia RPG is coming to the PlayStation 4, and this is a JRPG that definitely isn't going to be up everyone's alley, especially if you are more of a casual JRPG fan. It's really got a Japanese look to it, which is going to be off-putting to a lot of people, but Neptune, stricken with amnesia, awakens in a mysterious world where 2D reigns supreme. With a little help from her friends, Neptune embark on a journey to regain her memory, save the world, and 3D games as we know it. So obviously, it's a charming little game that doesn't take itself all too seriously. The key features, and now the game is played in 2D. Your favorite goddesses jump from 3 dimensions to 2. Artisan Studios and Kamal Hart proudly present new vibrant backgrounds and newly developed 2D animations hand-drawn in an action-inspired side-scrolling RPG, and they're collaborating together to create a pretty interesting project. This was also released on PC pretty recently, and it was received rather well. 78% positive Steam reviews based on 165 user reviews, and it hits the PlayStation 4 tomorrow. It is going for $49.99 over on Steam. They are doing a 20% off launch discount, so hopefully that also comes to the PlayStation 4. Kind of pricey on that end, but nonetheless, usually these niche JRPGs are priced a little bit higher, and it does come tomorrow. And lastly, for all of you PlayStation VR buffs out there, the cooperative action game Medusa and Her Lover is also dropping tomorrow. A tale of Medusa cursed to turn all upon whom her gaze falls onto stone, and Gaios, her lover, take control of both of these characters to progress through each stage in the VR cooperative action title. Featuring an all-new gimmick in which 2 players can split gameplay between the VR headset and the monitor to enjoy local multiplayer action with a single single PlayStation 4 consoles. So that's pretty cool that you can play through the game cooperatively, even if you have a single PlayStation 4. With VR, it's a little bit more difficult to do that, but nonetheless, Medusa and Her Lover will offer that. We're not getting a ton of quality VR releases over the summer, but nonetheless, Medusa and Her Lover looks to be one that could end up surprising a lot of people, and it is releasing tomorrow. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, these summer weeks are sometimes a little bit dry, but come tomorrow, there are a lot of interesting games being released. I'm super excited for the Sinking City. I think We the Revolution is gonna surprise a lot of people. For you guys that love fighting games, Samurai Shodown is one to look at, even though it is priced kind of high. Arnie Curtain looks like a fun and charming game. Super Neptunia for all of you JRPG buffs, and you've got a pretty interesting VR title as well with Medusa and Her Lover. And don't forget, Judgment also drops in physical. That's very exciting. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.